to Bumps and Burpees. I'm Charlie and today I'm joined by Alice. Alice is on the Bumps and Burpees team. She's a personal trainer, but as you can see, she's just about to take a little break from training. So how far along are you now?
So I am 35 weeks. I've got 5 weeks left.
Oh my goodness, how are you feeling?
Feeling okay, feeling big and slow.
It's a very neat bump.
Thank you. Well, I'm walking really slowly, which has been so strange. Like I'm one of those slow people on the tube that's taking their time, but other than that, I feel okay.
Good.
Yeah.
And then so tell us a little bit about the journey to becoming pregnant, because I know that it wasn't as easy as you'd hoped.
No, well, I just can't believe like the whole area of fertility and pregnancy, because I just thought I'd get pregnant straight away, but I suffered a ectopic pregnancy last year.
Okay.
Which I didn't even know what that was. So an ectopic is where the fetus starts growing outside of the womb.
Right.
So in my case, it was growing in a fallopian tube.
And can it grow anywhere outside of the womb?
Yeah, it can grow anywhere,
Okay.
outside the womb. But in my case, it was in the fallopian tube, so they couldn't actually find it. So I had about a few weeks of them saying it was a miscarriage, but they weren't actually certain. They couldn't actually find it.
And how did they discover that? So you were saying that your hormone levels were not quite right, or?
Yeah, so first of all, my hormone levels were going down. So I was taking pregnancy tests and the line was disappearing.
God.
Which is heartbreaking. So I was like taking pregnancy tests every day and it was just disappearing, and I started bleeding, and then went to the doctors, went to the hospital, and they did an internal scan. They couldn't find the fetus anywhere, so they were like, okay, well, come back in a week. So came back in a week, and then my LH hormone was increasing, which meant there was a pregnancy going on.
So many emotions.
But I didn't know what an ectopic was, so I was like, well, it's not going to happen to me. I've never heard of this. Like,
yeah.
there doesn't.
It's actually more of a taboo, I think, than miscarriage. I think less people know what it is or how it can happen.
Well, exactly. Yeah, I had no idea. I had no idea what it was, so I had to do loads of research into it. I knew what a miscarriage was, so I just assumed that was happening. And when the hormone was rising, I didn't really know what was going on. I don't think I kept on going back in for blood tests, and they were like, come in if you feel the pain, because I had excruciating pain going into work.
In your stomach?
Yeah, in my stomach, still bleeding. So I didn't really know what was going on for a few weeks, but you still have to show up and go to work. So at the time I was working in advertising.
No one knows, right?
No one knows, you can't tell people.
Well,
so
you can, but people tend not to.
Luckily I was working with like a bunch of really nice women in the office, so I did tell them, so I could get support. But I was having to go to meetings and still show up, and
all you were thinking about was what was going on.
Yeah, I was like, well, something's going on, don't know what it is, still bleeding. And then I finally went in and they did a internal scan and they found it in a fallopian tube. But at that point it was quite big and it could split the fallopian tube.
And it can be really
fatal. Yeah, and I was at quite a late stage by then, so I had to go straight in and be operated on that day.
What week were you?
I was week 7.
Okay.
So, with an ectopic, they can, if it's in the fallopian tube, they can save the fallopian tube, but because I was so far gone, they had to take the fallopian tube as well, so I was left with one fallopian tube. So
would they usually find out much earlier than that?
They can do, yeah, they can do.
Okay,
yeah.
So you were left with one fallopian tube?
One fallopian tube.
That must have been hard to swallow.
That was hard because I was like, well, what does this mean? Like, you have to do so much research into it. Does it mean that I'm less fertile? Does that mean 50% less chance of getting pregnant again?
And what did the research
say?
Actually,
it's not 50% less chance. It does decrease the chances every month of getting pregnant, but it's not 50-50 because you can actually what's it called? Where the egg goes through the fallopian tube. Ovulation. You can ovulate through
baby brain.
Yeah, baby brain. You can ovulate through one fallopian tube from both sacs, which I didn't realise. So,
that's amazing. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, but it's not like the fallopian tube.
So slightly less chance, but it's not 50% less.
Slightly less chance.
Okay. Well, clearly not that much less. Okay, amazing. And then, so how long after that did you conceived this baby?
So it took about 9 months to conceive.
Did you start training straight away?
So we left about 3 months. So I actually had qualified for a Team GB event in triathlon. So before I fell pregnant,
we should say Alice is a Team GB triathlete, so we'll come on to that a little bit later.
So I basically qualified for this Team GB event. It was an event called Ectopic, which is a swim and a cycle without the run.
Okay.
And I was like, well, great, I'm pregnant, so I won't do that event. But then when I realised I was losing my baby, I was like, well, I don't want to lose the baby and lose this opportunity, because it would have been my first event with Team GB. So I was like, right, I'll wait until after that. So that was 3 months after. They say you should wait 3 months after having a miscarriage at Ectopic to get 3 cycles to try again.
Oh really? Because when I've had my miscarriages, they've said to wait for 1 cycle.
Oh really?
So it depends who you see, isn't it?
Yes,
but with an ectopic,
totally.
I guess that was much more like intense in the operation and everything.
Yeah, well I guess
also mentally,
I think you can start trying again, but they say like wait a couple of cycles.
It's hard to date it if you haven't had at least 1 cycle, but
yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
So then basically I had 3 months of not trying, and then we waited until after the triathlon and did that, and then we started trying. But obviously you don't ovulate every single month from one fallopian tube. So
yes,
it
so
took
you didn't
a bit of
know
time.
which month you were ovulating.
And then also because I was enjoying the summer, because it had been a really tough first year. So we kept on forgetting to try. So we go on holiday and we're like, oh my God, we've just missed it again. So it was kind of a bit of our fault as well, a bit of blasé.
But that's good, because you were getting back to like doing things that you enjoyed and not thinking about it so
I think
much.
it's really important to do that and do things that you really enjoy.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so it took 9 months to get pregnant with this baby, and how did you feel? Were you nervous?
So I was obviously very relieved, but as you probably know, it's a whole world of anxiety. So as soon as I found out, I was very excited and very relieved, but I remember explaining it to my brother, it's not just like suddenly you're pregnant and you're like really happy. Like I was very anxious.
Yeah, I bet.
was taking pregnancy tests every day. My husband was like, we can't afford this, we can't keep this up. And also that's not good for your anxiety as well. So it wasn't until my 12-week scan that I felt happy. Like I did have a 4-week scan, then a 6 or 8 week scan, just to check that it was in the right place.
And was that through the NHS? Did they offer them to you?
Yes,
okay.
Yeah. So as soon as I found out I was pregnant at 4 weeks, they sent me straight to hospital. But at 4 weeks, they can't. The fetus hasn't actually developed. They couldn't actually see it in the womb.
But they can check that the sac is in the womb, or
no? Yeah, that was what they were checking for.
Yeah.
So the sac wasn't there. So I had to come back 2 weeks later. But they said that it's normal for that to happen. Came back 2 weeks later, and then it was in the right place. So and then I had like a 6-week wait for the 12-week scan after that. So it's just a whole world of anxiety, and you also feel quite ill and exhausted and a bit sick. And
were you quite sick?
I wasn't sick. I just felt very nauseous. So
which is almost worse, isn't it? Really, you just want to be sick and get it done with.
Yeah, exactly. It was just constant nausea. I just felt like constantly being hungover. And the only thing that helps it is eating.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was just.
And I guess as someone who's been in high level sport, your training must have altered a little bit. You're eating more. Like, how did you feel with all these changes?
I think that's been the most mentally tough, because the reason why I love sport so much is, for me, it's like therapy. So going out for a cycle, going out for a run, it just gives me clarity of the mind, and that's where my passion for it starts. It's just how it makes me feel.
So you stopped running pretty much straight away?
Yes, well, first trimester I really wanted to keep it up, but it just felt uncomfortable. I just felt slow and sluggish, and I just reviewed my priorities. I was like, why am I doing this?
I waited so long for this moment.
Yeah, I expected that I thought I'd be one of these triathlon moms that's running all the way up to labour, but it just didn't feel right. It felt quite. It wasn't just because you've got a bump, because at that stage you don't have a bump. I just felt really heavy.
Loads of changes happening though.
Loads of changes, and in your first trimester you're feeling nauseous, you're feeling tired. So I stopped running, and swimming I kept on. But I remember going to...
You still do swimming, haven't you?
I still swim. Well, swimming's really buoyant. It's really good
it
for
must
women.
feel so nice.
It feels amazing. One of the hardest things is I'm normally training for performance. So if I'm on the off season, I'm just focusing on technique and I'm kind of plateauing. Or if I'm training for an event, I'm training for performance. I'm increasing my power. my strength. But suddenly to become the slowest in my lane with my team, it was just really hard because I wasn't doing anything different.
You're just getting slower and slower.
Yeah,
and
slower. You know, normally if you're not training, then you're like, okay, that's why I'm getting slower. But
you were training.
I was training, and I was just getting slower. And I know that I was pregnant,
but you've got that competitive streak in your brain.
Yeah,
I know, I've got it too. I'm going to struggle.
It's just so hard to fathom to just get slower and slower. And also, I wasn't able to tell a lot of people in the lane, in my swimming lane, that I was pregnant. So everyone was like, "Are you okay?"
They probably thought, "Oh my god, yes, we've got a chance this year."
Really, yeah, it's just really hard, and you have to. It's taken a while to work with your body. Whereas when you're in performance sports, it's normally about pushing your limits and just going for it. If you're tired, pushing through that tiredness. So suddenly having to take a step back and think and look after yourself. And if you feel tired, you know, getting more sleep and not.
There's a reason for it.
Yeah, and also not training if you're feeling really tired.
When you're having a day where you just feel a bit rubbish and you're feeling like you can't keep up and you're not where you used to be, what were the kind of things that helped you through those?
I actually think writing those posts helped me.
So writing it down,
and my husband would tell me, you are pregnant, and to give your body a rest and to be kind to yourself. But you actually have to. For me to write down those posts and write down lists of
it's quite cathartic, isn't it?
It is cathartic, and it's almost, for me, that's why I started my Facebook, my Instagram account, is to create sort of a diary for myself. So for me, that I found that quite therapeutic, and reminded myself that, pregnancy is temporary, and I will get through this, and I'm training for a different reason. And it's
you're training for an athletic event. It's just not one that you're used to.
Yeah, exactly. So
your medal will come in a very different shape and size.
A lifetime medal, prize.
Yeah.
But I basically tried to change the perspective of training for pregnancy. Like, that's my triathlon. I'm training for that now. And I had to let go of my ego, because there's so many amazing mums online that do ultra marathons or triathlons really soon after giving birth.
It's really hard to not compare yourself.
Yeah, I did a lot of comparison, whereas before I wouldn't compare myself when I'm training loads and I'm achieving and I'm getting, qualifying for Team GB events or doing an Ironman. Then suddenly that I've got to slow down, I found it really difficult. So
changing your goalposts is quite a good advice, actually, and just thinking, okay, well, this is a new event I'm training for. I've never done it before.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my best, but it's different.
Yeah, exactly, and it's coming to terms with that, and it's taken 7-8 months to get used to it.
You're nearly there now, and you have to get used to the other part.
So it's like learning all these new things, because I've had my head in the sand about pregnancy and having children, so I haven't really done much research on it. So it's been like a slow process.
Well, I think you've done a very good job.
And I want to be authentic online and on Instagram about how pregnancy is, and it's not all plain sailing. And
no, it's really refreshing to see that. It's nice to listen to the real pregnancy, the good, the bad, the scary, all these things. I think it's really helpful.
It's literally like a roller coaster. You go through every single emotion, your body goes through so many changes, which is the hardest thing, because I think my body's been the same since I was about 18.
Yeah, and you've always been really in tune with it and knows what's going on.
Yeah, and I've always, I know when I've, put on a bit of weight and I'm not doing much training, and I know how to counteract that, and when I'm training for an event. But suddenly you don't have any control over your body. You only have, to some extent, eating healthy, but the pure exhaustion that comes with it I can't describe it, and because you can't push through like you would if you're training for an Ironman. You have to listen to your body, and that's the hardest thing, because I'm not very good at just pottering around the house. I spend my weekends going on adventures, and to suddenly stop that has been really hard, because it's been a lifestyle change as well.
Yeah. And
where I look at cycling and swimming and running as my go-to for therapy or time on my own, or to make me feel really good. And because I haven't been able to go for 100k cycles at the weekend.
I mean, it's not the kind of thing I do for fun, but each to their own.
But that was every weekend for us, and then now to stop that, some people do power through in their pregnancy, but it didn't feel necessarily safe, and it didn't feel that good. Like, my pelvis, felt quite heavy on the
I
saddle.
think it's really amazing that you listen to yourself on that.
That's the most important thing.
So do you think you will carry on doing triathlons after you've had the baby?
Definitely, I'd like to hope so, but I'm not putting too much pressure on the time limit.
That's a good idea.
Things like I haven't run in about 7 months, which is a really long time. As a pre and postnatal PT, I understand the importance of a mummy MOT and
which is your postnatal check from the physio, which we recommend to everyone that we see. So that's good.
and who knows what's going to happen to like my pelvic floor in birth. So I have no idea what's going to happen. So it's going to take a bit of time to build up the running. Swimming, still fine. So we'll just see how I go. I've got a turbo trainer to cycle indoors, so it depends how much time I've got available and how much time the baby gives me to cycle.
Hopefully you have a really good baby that sleeps a lot.
Yeah, hopefully. So we'll see. So I'm giving birth in the start of October, hopefully.
Which is 5 weeks away?
So 5 weeks away. And then, so I've got the off season, which is the winter period, to train. So hopefully next summer I might be able to do my first triathlon. But with the running, I'm going to give myself a break because I understand like the most important thing is restoring my pelvic floor.
Yeah.
So I do an event called Ectopic now, which is a swim and cycle. So that's going to be a lot more easy on your pelvic floor. And I think that would be much easier to go into straight away. So the aim is to get back into it, but to look after myself along the way rather than to put so much pressure onto myself. I always wanted to be one of those mums that was like, smashing it and getting back to it really quickly. But
you are smashing it. You are smashing it. But you're just
I don't feel like I am.
I think you are. I really think you are. And I can't wait to see what you do post baby and how you speak so positively to yourself. And I really hope that it goes well for you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I think that's what it is self-positive talk. And I have been doing that a lot. I think as athletes, you put so much pressure on yourself. So when you don't meet your own expectation... Yeah,
they're set by yourself, by no one else.
So it's about lowering my expectations. Not lowering them, but changing my expectations. Changing. So I'm now training for pregnancy rather than training for triathlon, which has taken a long process to come to terms with.
But you've done it and you're nearly there. So we'll have to get you back on when you've had the baby, see how it all went and how you're feeling. But I hope you continue feeling this positive all the way through.
Thank you.
You've done such a good job.
Thanks for inviting me on.
No worries.
I definitely
see you in a couple of weeks. We'll see you with the little baby with lots of cuddles. All right, see you next time. Bye.